Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, we'll spend this Monday with some laughs with an episode of The Great Gildersleeve and an episode of Archie Andrews, and, of course, some Lum and Abner. Thanks for tuning in on this Monday edition of the podcast. This is the 25th day of September. It is the 268th day of the year, 97 days remaining until we get to 2024. Congress passed 12 amendments to the Constitution on this date in 1789, the Congressional Apportionment Amendment, the Congressional Compensation Amendment, and the 10 that are known as the Bill of Rights. Only the Bill of Rights ratified at that time, the other two proposed by James Madison, but not ratified. In 1992, the Congressional Compensation Amendment ratified as the 27th Amendment to the Constitution. U.S. forces led by Zachary Taylor captured the Mexican city of Monterrey on this date in 1846. In 1912, Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism founded in New York City. In 1929, Jimmy Doolittle performed the first blind flight from Mitchell Field, proving that full instrument flying from takeoff to landing was possible. In 1957, on this date, Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas, integrated through the use of Army troops. Governor Orville Faubus struck back.
We are now an occupied territory. Evidence of the naked force of the federal government is here apparent in these unsheathed bayonets in the backs of schoolgirls. I wish also to point out that no violence broke out in the city until after the injunction was issued by the imported federal judge and the guard forces were withdrawn.
Arkansas Governor Orville Faubus on this date in 1957. 1973, astronaut Alan Bean stepped out of Skylab 3 after spending 59 days in space.
Captain Alan Bean, ready to step out. He braces himself on the edge of the hatch, reaches down for a helping hand, and a big round of applause from the ship's company here on board the New Orleans as Captain Al Bean steps out and makes his way a little on the shaky, unsteady side, but doing very, very well. It's really surprising. And up strikes the band with Way Down Yonder in New Orleans.
Bean logged 1,671 hours and 45 minutes in space, of which 10 hours and 26 minutes spent in extravehicular activities on the moon and in Earth orbit. He retired from the Navy in 1975 and resigned from NASA as a civilian employee in 1981, Bean passing away May 26, 2018, at the age of 86. Sandra Day O'Connor, the 102nd Justice sworn in as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court on this date in 1981, the first woman to hold the office.
My own view in the area of abortion is that I am opposed to it as a matter of birth control or otherwise. The subject of abortion is a valid one in my view for legislative action, subject to any constitutional restraints or limitations.
You know, if any Supreme Court Justice nominee responded to a question that way today, they would be immediately disqualified, but that's politics today. O'Connor served on the court for nearly a quarter century, resigning in 2006 and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2019 from President Obama. 1997, Wing Commander Andy Green of the Royal Air Force established the world land speed record at Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, just about 2.5 hours from where I am sitting right now, in the Thrust SSC jet-powered car, and became the first man to break the speed of sound on land. In 2014, Chicago O'Hare International Airport in Chicago regained the title as world's busiest airport from Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Bill Cosby, on this date in 2018, sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for aggravated sexual assault. Among those passing away on this date in history, Ring Lardner, the writer, etiquette expert Emily Post, actor Walter Pidgeon, Jimmy Carter's brother Billy Carter. Billy, remember Billy Beer? Yeah. Would you believe Don Adams passing away on this date in history? Singer Andy Williams, golfer Arnold Palmer, and country singer Gene Shepard. This is the birth date of Barbara Walters.
My idea of hell is that I finish doing an interview and someone says, "Did you ask such and such?" And I think,
oh, I didn't.
I didn't ask that. But I have a lot. In my work, I'm very decisive, and in real life, I'm very indecisive. So, years ago, there was a chanteuse named Edith Piaf, and she sang a song that said, "I regret nothing. Je ne regrette rien." And Bette Midler then did a takeoff on it and sang, "I regret everything." And I said, that's going to be my theme song. You name it, I regret it.
And you know, anyone who has done any sort of reporting, that is common. That is common. You sit there and you say, thank you so much, and you walk away, and then an hour later somebody says, "Oh, you spoke to so-and-so? Did you ask him such and such?" "Oh my gosh, I forgot. I never thought about that." That is not an uncommon concern. Barbara Walters, who passed away in December at the age of 93. Also born on this date in history, Nobel laureate writer William Faulkner, baseball's Phil Rizzuto, humorist Shel Silverstein, actress Juliette Prowse, and actor Christopher Reeves. Michael Douglas, 79 years old today. Model Cheryl Tiegs is 76. Potsy Anson Williams is 74. Speaking of Potsy,
one night I get a call that there's an audition for this 50 show. And on my way down, my car stops. I'm like hours late. I go to Paramount Studios. I go up to the receptionist. "Hi, I'm sorry I'm so late. It's Anson Williams." And I hear, "Where the hell you been?" And she goes, "Yeah, lucky. We haven't cast Potsy yet." I say, "What's a Potsy?"
and we would all know who Potsy was by the time the show was over with. Anson Williams, 74 years old today. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, 72. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, the pro wrestler, 71 years old. Actress and model Heather Locklear, 62. Janice Soprano in The Sopranos. Ada Turturro is 61. Will Smith turns 55 and talks about how his son tried to get one over on him, but he got one over on his son.
That's cool. So we go and hang out for his birthday, and I'm like, man, that's really good. He wanted his family with him, and Calvin Harris was performing. We went to the show. And then we go to a restaurant, and Jaden was just particularly excited, We sit down at the restaurant, and he looks at the waiter, and he says, "I'll have a tequila." And I said, whoa, man, hold up. What you doing? And he says, "The drinking age is 18 in England, Dad."
That's why. Oh, no, that's why he got you out.
I was like, "You joker. You joker."
That's how you got us all to come
I was thinking fast. I said, "Oh, but hold on. It's only noon in L.A. And you weren't born till 4, so you're not 18 yet."
Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show, that's where Will Smith was telling that story. Will Smith, 55 today. Catherine Zeta-Jones, 54. Hal Sparks of Talk Soup fame, 54 as well. AEW's Aja Kong, 53 years old. From Santa Barbara soap opera, also Pete Sampras' wife, Bridget Wilson Sampras, is 50. And the rapper Childish Gambino. And from Community, Donald Glover is 40. Though some of the people celebrating the 25th day of September is their birthday. If this happens to be your birthday,
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. Let's go back now 77 years to September 25th, 1946. An episode of The Great Gildersleeve starring Harold Peary. That's up next here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on this Monday. We've talked about the kids, let's talk about the pets. If you've got a dog in the house, MyPillow has a full line of dog beds that are cheaper than what you can buy them at the big box stores. And they're more comfortable. They're made from the same material and the same stuff that your MyPillows are. And your puppy and your big dog will get a good night's sleep as well. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, use my promo code Wyatt, and get you a MyPillow dog bed. They also have pet blankets as well available. Check them all out at MyPillow.com, promo code Wyatt, or call 1-800, that is 928 4715, 1-800-928-4715. I can't even read my own handwriting. Use my promo code Wyatt and get something for your best friend. Why don't you? A MyPillow. Now let's go back 77 years, September 25th, 1946. Harold Peary, The Great Gildersleeve.
The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Peary, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Now let's join The Great Gildersleeve. After a day at the office, or almost a day, he has dropped into Peavy's pharmacy, where we find him concluding a small transaction.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Call again.
Maybe I will, Peavy. Don't take any wooden nickels. Hey, what's this? Looks cute.
That, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, men's perfume, eh?
It isn't exactly perfume. I believe it's called a grooming essential.
It's a perfume, no matter what they call it. I'm surprised to find you displaying it.
Well, I was forced to put it in, Mr. Gildersleeve. The young fellows want it. They say women find it attractive.
You don't believe that, do you?
I don't know. These young fellas seem to use up a lot of it, and they keep coming back for more.
Oh, but this notion about women...
Well, I only know what they tell me, Mr. Gildersleeve. I've never tried it myself.
I'm glad to hear it. If a man can't attract women without dousing himself with some kind of stinkum, he shouldn't admit it. What's it smell like?
It's inoffensive. It's supposed to smell like pine needles. Here, I'll open one of these, and you can have a sniff.
Don't bother. Pretty fancy bottle.
Yeah, make a nice table ornament after it's empty. I can't seem to get the top off of the darn
Let me do it.
No, I've got it. If I could just...
Oh, Peavy!
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm terribly sorry.
All over my vest. I'll smell for days.
Oh, no. It wears off in a few hours.
Well, an ordinary dose might. You spilled half the bottle on me.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's not a bad smell.
Mr. Gildersleeve, would you be interested in buying the rest of the bottle?
Doesn't smell as good as all that, Peavy.
Well, I can price it quite attractively.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, you've got about $2 worth on you already.
What?
Yes, it's a $5 item. But I'll let you have the rest of it for $2.50. Nice ornament.
I don't need any ornaments. I don't believe it's going to excite any women either.
Well, have it your own way. All I know is a lot of young women buy it for their husbands.
They do?
Yeah. Let you have it for $2.
Well, all right. But wrap it up, Peavy, and get this through your head. I'm not buying this because I need it.
You don't have to tell me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Is that you, Unc?
Yes, it's me, Leroy.
Hey, a package. What's in it?
Nothing for you, my boy. It's, shaving lotion.
Oh. Phew, what is that what I smell? Must be powerful stuff.
I accidentally spilled some on my vest. Doing your homework?
Yeah.
Possibly you could concentrate better if the evening paper wasn't so near you. May I have it?
Sure, I finished it.
Yeah, so I see. Hi, George. I don't know why I read the evening paper. Same stuff I read this morning. Now I think of it, the morning paper had the same stuff I read last night. Nothing happening, I guess.
Good evening, Unky. Leroy, have you seen my notebook?
Oh, good evening, my dear.
Unky, what have you got on you? You smell simply delicious.
You think so? Peavy sold me some stuff.
Well, what's the name of it? You smell just like Wallace Weber. He was 2 seats away from me in history this morning. It was heavenly.
Well, I believe it's called Spruce. Spruce up with spruce, or something like that.
Gosh, is that spruce? Women are supposed to faint when they smell it.
How do you know, Leroy?
I read an ad in Esquire.
Leroy? I forbid you to read Esquire till you're 21. Is that clear?
Oh, for corn's sake.
Did Leroy give you the message from Miss Goodwin, Unky?
He did not. Confound it, Leroy. What's the matter with you? What was the message?
She wants you to sing at a PTA meeting tonight.
Oh, we should both forgotten it.
Oh, I thought you liked to sing in public.
Not particularly, my dear. And anyway, there's something about those parent-teacher meetings.
Between the singing and the perfume, you'd have the ladies swooning.
Yeah. Mr. Gildersleeve!
That will do, Leroy.
Well, anyway, I told Miss Goodwin I'd give you the message.
All right, my dear, you've given it. I will not sing at any PTA meeting tonight.
Okay. Leroy, have you seen my notebook?
What notebook?
The new one. The one with... Oh, there it is. Leroy, have you been using it?
Why would I want to use your lousy notebook? Gosh, I think everything you own is so wonderful.
Well, you leave my things alone in the future, and if you... Leroy! Uncle Mort, look! All over the first page of it.
Now, what's he done?
I was just practicing my signature.
Leroy Forrester, Leroy J. Forrester, Leroy P. Forrester.
You have no middle name, Leroy. What is this?
It looks better with something in there.
Oh, dear. If you wish to practice your signature, Leroy, or any signature, kindly do not do so in your sister's notebook. Just tear the page out, my dear. It's no tragedy.
Not to you, maybe.
Doorbell.
Will you answer it, please, Marjorie?
I'll get it. Bertie's getting it.
Everyone heard her, Leroy.
Good evening, Miss Goodwin. Good evening, Bertie. Is Mr. Gildersleeve at home? I'd just like to see him for a minute, if it's convenient.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be convenient, Miss Goodwin. Come right in.
Oh, well, Leroy, take your homework upstairs, please. You too, Marjorie. Well, Eve, what a delightful surprise.
I'm sorry to bother you. She just wants to see you for a minute, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie. Thank you.
Hi, Miss Goodwin.
Hello, Leroy. Marjorie.
Hello. We're just leaving. I gave Uncle Mort the message about the PTA.
Oh, thank you. I do hope you can come, Throckmorton.
Run along, Leroy.
I'm going.
Sit down, Eve. Make yourself at home.
No, I can only stay a minute, as Bertie promised. Have you been to the barber's today?
No, why?
Oh, I thought you must have had something put on your hair. It smells quite nice.
Oh, that. I spilled it on my vest. If you like it, I'll get some more.
Oh, you shouldn't unless you like it yourself.
Well, it's masculine.
That's appropriate.
I haven't seen you in quite a while, Eve. Where have you been keeping yourself?
Oh, I'm still living in the same place. You haven't been around to call on me.
Well, what about tonight? Can't we duck this PTA meeting?
I wish we could.
We could go for a drive somewhere. It's not too cold out. Or we could just sit around and have a little conversation. I'd like to know what you think about the new books and politics and everything.
I'd like to encourage your intellectual interests, but I've got to go to this meeting. And I hate to ask you to help me, but I'm desperate.
Well, why should it be your problem?
It's my job. Please, Throckmorton, be nice. If you'll just come around for half an hour and sing a few little things. The ladies are crazy about you. For me?
All right, Eve. For you.
Oh, you're a darling. 8 o'clock in the high school auditorium.
All right. Wait a minute, Eve. This thing doesn't have to last very long, does it?
Well, it should be over by 10. Why?
Well, how'd it be if I took you home after?
Well,
Just for some conversation about books.
Well, for a little while. And thank you, Throckmorton.
I see you change your clothes, Unky. Going out?
Yes, after supper.
gonna sing for the PTA, Unc?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, Leroy. Miss Goodwin has asked me as an old friend to help her out of a difficult situation. I'm considering it.
Doorbell. I'll get it. Bertie's getting it.
Leroy, you're developing an extremely tedious habit of proclaiming the obvious. Try to curb it.
Okay.
Good evening, Bertie. Is Mr. Gildersleeve at home?
Yes, he is, Miss Ransom.
Well, I know it's almost his supper time, but if I could just see him for a minute.
Come right in, ma'am. What's fair for one is fair for all.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Miss Ransom wants to see you a minute, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, thank you, Bertie. Hello, Leila.
Hello, Throckmorton. Good evening, Marjorie.
Hello, Mrs. Ransom.
Throckmorton.
Hi, Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, hello, Leroy. I didn't see you there. My, but you're growing. Throckmorton, I just wondered if you were doing anything important this evening. Are you?
I'm afraid I am, Leila. I've agreed to appear at a meeting of the Parent Teachers Association.
Throckmorton, you've got to get out of it. I simply must see you this evening.
But, Leila, I've made a commitment. They have to have a speaker.
Oh, pooh. They can find a million speakers. You don't want to sit around with a lot of mothers and talk about progressive education.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about progressive education. I was,
I was feeling sentimental. I thought we could have such a lovely evening together.
Leila, I promised.
I have a special reason for asking.
Well, Leila, Leroy, go upstairs. Or out in the kitchen or someplace. I won't have you staring at me.
Gosh, what did I do?
You too, Marjorie.
Okay. Please, Throckmorton, for Leila. Oh, you can get Horace Hooker to go to the PTA meeting instead.
Hooker?
Mm-hmm.
By George, I might at that. What time is it?
About 6:15.
I wonder if he's still down at the office.
Oh, Horace loves to do things like that. Will you come over early, Throckmorton?
Right after supper. That is, if I can find
I'll be
Hooker.
expecting you. Don't disappoint me now, you hear?
But, Leila, what if I can't...
I'm counting on you, Throckmorton.
What do you know? Eve, Leila. Never rains, but it pours. Say, I wonder if that stuff Peavy sold me... Now.
We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve again in just a minute. In these days, when spreads for bread are not so abundant, you've probably had to do without your favorite brand now and then.
But I'm still as choosy as ever, Mr. Lang. I always ask for parquet margarine. It's been our favorite for years.
It's a favorite spread in millions of homes. First of all, because people know that any product made by the Kraft Foods Company is sure to be of highest quality. And once you've tried parquet margarine, you just naturally prefer its fresh, country-sweet flavor. Prefer it because it tastes so good on rolls, toast, pancakes, and waffles.
That's why I always ask first for parquet margarine at my food dealers.
And likely as not, he'll have it for you from time to time, because Kraft is continuing to make all the parquet margarine possible with present supplies. Your food dealer is doing his best to supply you with this spread that's so rich in food energy, so country-sweet in flavor, and so economical, too. I suggest that you always look first for delicious, nourishing parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now, back to our story. Having called Judge Hooker's house, Gildersleeve has learned that the judge is working late at his office. Let's watch Gildersleeve's maneuvers now as he enters the city hall, tiptoes down the corridor chambers, and finding the door ajar, wanders into the judge's chambers. The judge is absorbed in a document. Gildersleeve helps himself to a chair.
Horace?
Yes, Gildy?
Hello.
Hello.
What you doing?
Reading a brief.
Oh. Horace?
Yes?
You're interested in education, aren't you?
Not at the moment. I'm reading a brief.
But I mean, you are interested in it. After all, you're a member of the school board.
So are you.
Well, yes, but...
Now, let me read this. Court convenes at 9 in the morning.
What I'm driving at, Judge...
What are you driving at? What do you want?
Oh, nothing. I just dropped in. That a new picture you got on the wall there?
Nope.
Oh. Horace, what are you doing tonight?
I am not addressing the Parent Teachers Association, if that's what you've got in mind.
Oh, it had never occurred to me, Horace, but what an excellent suggestion.
It was not a suggestion.
You know who they got for the guest of honor now? Oh, this'll kill you. Me. What can I do? Sing a little. When I was a young lad. Who wants to hear that?
Who indeed?
But you, Judge, now you can't sing for sour apples, maybe.
I can at least carry the tune.
We won't go into that. You can't sing, but you can do something much better for the PTA. You can give them food for thought, Horace. You can bring things home to them.
What can I bring home to them?
Why, if,
The time is too short, Gildy. As I told Miss Goodwin, I don't like to decline an invitation of this sort.
Miss Goodwin, Eve asked you before she asked me?
Who do you think suggested you?
Well, that's very flattering, old friend, but I fear you're being too modest. You see who they go to first.
It's not modesty. There's no time. The meeting's tonight. There's no time to prepare anything.
Oh. Say, how about that speech you gave last year, Judge? What was it called? Education and the Law or something? Don't tell me you've forgotten that. Why, I'll never forget it as long as I live.
But, Gildy, I gave that before the PTA.
It was well received, wasn't it?
It was?
It caused comment in the newspaper, didn't it?
Did?
A lot of good, solid stuff in that speech, Horace. Wasn't the kind of thing that could be absorbed in one hearing.
I'll tell you why that speech caused comment, if you'd like to know. Because it dealt with a current problem of vital importance. A proper respect for law, my friend, should be inculcated in the young at the earliest possible age.
True, true.
Should begin in school, in kindergarten even. It should begin before that, in the home. I'll even go farther and say that it should begin with heredity. But if it's too late for heredity, let's begin where we can. I ask you, how can a child possibly learn respect for the law if at home he sees his parents flaunting it?
Oh, that is so true.
I say to you, my friend, law is the very keystone of our civilization. The very keystone.
Keystone.
The keystone. I say to you...
Don't say it to me, Judge. Say it to the PTA.
Yes. I must take another look at that speech. There are one or two things I might add. Meetings at 8:30, you say?
8:30.
Keystone of our civilization. It's rather a good phrase. I say to you, my friends, law
when I was a young man before my beard was gray.
Of our civilization.
But I'm weary of the sea wind, I'm weary of the foam, and the little stars of Duna call me home. The little stars of Duna call me home.
Well, that's that.
Oh, Throckmorton, let's sing one more. Just one more.
Heck, I could be doing this at the PTA.
Oh, gracious, I certainly don't know what you expected.
Well, I mean, well, gee, after all, you got me to break a date to come here. You said it was going to be something special.
It is. This is an evening I shall always remember, Throckmorton. Always.
Well, all right. Let's make it something to remember.
I think perhaps we could find a more comfortable place than the piano band.
How about over here?
Now, Throckmorton, we're going to have an understanding.
I thought we had one.
If I let you hold my hand, do you promise you won't go any farther?
What do you think?
I'd have to ask you to promise that. That would have to be the understanding.
Leila, what's this all about? Why are you so particular all of a sudden?
Well, I don't know that there's anything so sudden about it. I've always been particular. Oh, but there, I mustn't be put out with you. Not tonight. I know you didn't mean...
What's wrong?
What is that smell? I've been smelling it all evening.
It's me.
Where is it? On your hair?
It's all over. Don't you like it?
Well, I don't know, Throckmorton. I'm not sure. If I could get far enough away to find out.
Well, I'm sorry if I've offended.
Oh, it's nothing like that. It's just a little overpowering is all.
Well, don't blame me. Blame Peavy. He sold it to me. So if you don't like it, the joke's on him.
I didn't say I didn't like it. As a matter of fact, I think in time I could become quite used to it. Do you like the perfume I'm wearing, Throckmorton?
I can't smell it.
Here, I'll put some on my wrists. And behind my ears.
Yum, 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 yum.
Ouch!
Oh, Leila, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know why I did that.
Biting, really?
Something snapped inside me, Leila. My mind just went blank, I guess. It was the perfume. And your little pink ear. Will you forgive me, Leila? Please forgive me.
Well, I guess it wasn't your fault, Throckmorton. You couldn't help yourself.
That's the girl. See, I'll kiss it and make it all better.
Oh, no, you don't. I think we'd better go back to the piano.
Piano? I've sung every song I know, Leila. I've sung till I'm hoarse. Can't we forget...
Oh, you must try to humor me this evening, Throckmorton. Because this is a very special evening.
You keep saying that, but I don't see anything so special.
I know. How could we ever forget?
Huh? Tell you the truth, Leila, I'm kind of sick of that song.
Sick of it? How can you say that? Why, that's always been our song.
I know, but can't we get a new one?
There's an old saying, Throckmorton. The old songs are the best. The old songs bring memories.
All evening, nothing but memories.
Remember the first time you ever sang that to me, Throckmorton?
Yep.
That was 4 years ago. You were darling then. Of course, you were a lot younger.
I'm just as young as I ever was.
No, you're not. You've changed.
How?
You don't seem so interested anymore.
I am, too, but ye gods, you got me sitting here with my hands tied.
Oh, it isn't that. You didn't miss me this summer.
Now, that just isn't true, Leila. I did so miss you.
You didn't write to me only once or twice.
Well, I was busy, and I knew you'd be back, so what's the use?
That's just it. You knew I'd be back. If you'd really missed me, you'd have shown a little more interest in where I spent my vacation and who I met while I was down there. You'd have been a little more curious.
I'm as curious as anybody. Where did you go, Leila?
Doesn't matter now. It's too late.
What do you mean, it's too late?
Oh, Throckmorton, I'm afraid I've got to wound you, and I don't want to.
If you're still sore because I bit your ear, you can bite mine. I don't care.
Oh, no. No, it isn't that. Oh, how shall I tell you?
Tell me what? Just tell me.
No, that would be too cruel.
I don't get it.
Wait here, Throckmorton. Wait here.
Hey, where are you going?
Wait.
Hey, chocolates. I shouldn't, but wonder which is a chewy one. Somebody's been biting into these. Well, I'll take a chance. Oh, all over my tie.
Throckmorton.
Oh, just sampling one of your chocolates here.
Throckmorton, do you notice anything different about me?
Just had a little mishap here, but it'll come off.
Throckmorton, please look at me.
Yeah?
You notice anything different?
No, why?
You're not very observant, I must say. I'll come closer. Now, do you notice anything?
New dress?
No, you've seen this dress hundreds of times. I'll give you a hint. It's jewelry.
The earrings.
Earrings. I always wear earrings. It's on my left hand, stupid.
Oh, where'd you get the ring? Hey, where'd you get the ring?
From someone.
Leila, is that an engagement ring, or did you put it on that finger to remind you of something?
It's on that finger to remind me of someone I met down south. He's a doctor, if you're dying to know, from Virginia.
Leila, you aren't going to marry this fellow.
Uh-huh.
For heaven's sake, why?
Because I love him.
Leila.
There, I've wounded you.
But why didn't you tell me, Leila? What's the idea of waiting till now and then getting me over
Because
here?
I wanted to be sure first, Throckmorton. I wanted to be sure of myself first.
Well, you might have tipped me off. If I'd had a little time, I might have done something. But no, the first quack that comes along, you let
He
him...
happens to be a very fine doctor.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too, Throckmorton. Does it mean so very much to you? Poor boy. Have a chocolate.
I couldn't.
Oh, to think I had to do this to you.
When are the services, Leila?
October 9th. The invitations are already in the mail. That's why I had to tell you tonight. His name is Julian Henry Culpepper. He's terribly handsome. He's only 36.
No.
I'm sorry. It was terribly romantic the way we met. It was at a dance. Do you know that tune that goes...
Leila. Leila, tell me something.
Yes? What?
Does this fellow sing?
Gracious, no. You should hear him.
Shove over.
Why? What for?
Speak to me of love
No fair.
and say what I'm longing to hear.
No fair, Throckmorton.
Tender words of love.
The Great Gildersleeve will finish his song in just a moment. Just a short while ago, a lady with some definite ideas on the kind of quality she wants in a spread for bread told us she always asks first for parquet margarine. And I'd say that's good advice at any time, to look first and ask first at your dealers for this craft quality spread with the fresh country sweet flavor. Right now, of course, all spreads for bread are scarce. Kraft is actually producing more parquet margarine than before the war. But the amount of top-quality farm ingredients available at present for parquet still isn't enough to meet the big demand. However, supplies of parquet are going to your food dealer regularly, and he'll have some for you from time to time. So remember to look first when you shop for delicious, nourishing parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
Speak to me of love and whisper these words to me, dear. I adore you.
You know, Throckmorton,
Yes?
now that it's worn off a little, I think I like that perfume you're wearing.
It's not a perfume, Leila. It's a masculine scent.
Whatever it is, I like it. It does something to me.
It does.
What's it called?
Why,
I want to tell Julian Henry.
wait till I see Peavy. Good night, Julian.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Peary. It is written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. The cast includes Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, and Lillian Randolph, who play Leroy, Marjorie, and Bertie. Leila Ransom is Shirley Mitchell. Eve Goodwin is played by Bea Benaderet. Judge Hooker is Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand plays Mr. Peavy. The music is by Jack Meeker. Daylight saving time ends on September 28th, so next Wednesday you'll hear The Great Gildersleeve at 8:30 if you live in the Eastern Time Zone, 7:30 if you're on Central Time. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Incidentally, there's a swell story about Gildersleeve in the October Radio Mirror magazine. This is John Lang speaking for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to be with us again next Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
If you pack lunches for school-going children and hard-working grown-ups, surprise them someday this week with the appetizing cheddar cheese flavor of Pabst-ett. This delicious cheddar cheese food is wonderfully nourishing in sandwiches, and you can cut Pabst-ett into wedges, too, for a tasty flavored treat with red apples for dessert. Your family can enjoy Pabst-ett in 2 tempting varieties, pimento Pabst-ett in the red package and golden cheddar in the familiar round yellow package. Get both kinds when you shop tomorrow.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
From 77 years ago, September 25th, 1946, The Great Gildersleeve, here on Classic Radio Theater. We'll take you to Riverdale and see what's going on with Archie Andrews in a moment. Now on Classic Radio Theater, we head for the funny papers as we find out what's going on with Archie Andrews. This episode, starring Robert Hastings, was originally broadcast 75 years ago, September 25th, 1948.
Right away, Jughead. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, here he is again, the youngster millions of readers of Archie Comics magazine know and love so well. Brought to you by Swift & Company, makers of Swift Premium Franks, Archie Andrews, and all his gang.
Tender beef, 2, 3, 4. Goes from the West Coast to New York. Swift Premium Franks. Swift Premium Franks.
For your guarantee of protection, Swift's Premium Franks now come to you cellophane wrapped in handy 1-pound packages. Made fresh daily in Swift kitchens from coast to coast, Swift's Premium Franks are then wrapped in the new handy sanitary Flavor Saver pack and brought to you at the very peak of their tantalizing flavor, with all their natural goodness sealed in. So, kids, tell your mom that you want Swift's Premium Franks. And, Mom, get some today. They're delicious. And you'll be glad to know that Swift's Premium Franks are economical. There's no waste to them. Every bite is all nourishment, all dinner-quality meat. Ask for them today. Swift's Premium Franks in the 1-pound cellophane package. And now for our weekly visit to Riverdale. It's early Friday evening as we look in on the Andrews home. The family has finished dinner a little while ago, and right now we find Mr. and Mrs. Andrews in the living room. Mrs. Andrews is sewing, and Mr. Andrews is reading his newspaper.
So, the president said there would be no further comment to be made on that
Fred?
subject. Furthermore, he said, if conditions...
Fred? Fred!
Yes, dear, you're absolutely right.
Absolutely right. Oh, for pity's sake. Fred Andrews, are you listening to me?
Oh, yes, dear. Yes, of course I am. Heard every word you said.
Oh, you did?
Of course.
Then what did I say?
Well, you said I should, you said you want, Mary, what did you say?
Nothing. I simply called you.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Yes, I wasn't listening.
I guess you weren't. But, Fred, what I'm trying to find out is, what would you like to do tonight?
Do? Nothing special, dear. Why?
Well, I thought we might play some bridge.
Bridge?
Hmm?
Mary, how are you and I going to play bridge when it takes 4 people?
That's just the point, silly. I thought we'd call the Hendersons and ask them to come over.
Oh, well, now, that's not a bad idea, Mary. Not a bad idea at all. Haven't had a nice game of bridge in a long time.
And we owe the Hendersons an invitation.
Yes, sir, we do at that. Mary, I'll call them right now.
Oh, boy, isn't that terrific?
Oh, fine.
Oh, hiya, Mom. Hiya, Dad. Isn't that sensational?
Archie,
Isn't that wonderful?
Archie,
Isn't that stupendous?
All right, Archie. It's terrific, sensational, wonderful, and stupendous. But would you mind telling us what you're talking about?
Oh, gee whiz, sure, Dad. I'm talking about these tickets.
What tickets?
2 free tickets to the Bijou Theatre.
Free tickets?
Uh-huh.
Archie, where'd you get free tickets to the movies?
Pinky Schultz just gave them to me, Mom. Pinky just had a fight with his girlfriend, Agatha, and of course he can't use these tickets now, so he gave them to me. Isn't that terrific? Isn't that sensational?
Archie.
Isn't that wonderful? Okay, Dad, okay.
I'm glad you've got free tickets to the movies, but I see no reason for you to yell and shout like you just inherited $1 million.
Well, yes, Dad, but it's almost as good.
Archie, that may be. And if you're going to the movies tonight, go ahead, but do it more quietly, please.
Oh, okay, Dad.
Fred, you call the Hendersons while I go see if we have enough cake and candy. And I'll make some coffee, too, dear.
All right, dear. I'll call the Hendersons right now.
Yeah, and I'll call Veronica.
Yes, you call what? Veronica? Archie, I have to make a call.
But, gee whiz, Dad, can't I call first?
Well, Archie,
there isn't much time before the last show starts,
yes, but
and Veronica doesn't even know I want to take her yet.
Yes, but
It'll just take half a minute, Dad. Half a minute.
Oh, me. All right, Archie. Call Veronica. But, Archie.
Yes, Dad?
Call me as soon as you're through. I'll go help your mother.
Okay, Dad, I will. Operator, get me Riverdale 318, please, and hurry. Oh, boy. Did you ever hear of such luck? Free tickets to them. Oh, hiya, Veronica. This is Archie, and guess what?
Hello, Archie. Hi, y'all, Archie. It's awful nice to hear your voice, Archie.
It's nice to hear your voice, too, Veronica.
Oh, Archie, how sweet.
But, Veronica, what I called about is to ask if you'd like to go to the movies tonight.
The movies? Well, Archie, I'd love to, simply love to. But I have a date.
Oh, that's swell. You have a date?
Uh-huh, with Reggie Mano.
Oh, but Veronica,
I was just getting dressed when you called.
But I have
to hurry. Reggie will be here any minute.
But, Veronica, wait, I have
Some other time, Archie. Thanks for calling. Bye.
But, Veronica, I have Hello? 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 Oh, gee whiz. Now, how do you like that?
Archie, are you through with that phone yet?
Oh, Dad, yeah, I'm through. But guess what happened?
Archie, you can tell me about it just as soon as
Veronica had a date.
Yes,
just
Archie,
when I have free tickets to the movie.
Yes,
she
I know,
has to go
Archie,
and have a date with someone else.
Archie, look. That is the most pathetic story I've heard all week. But if you don't mind, your mother wants me to call the Hendersons right now.
Okay, Dad, I'm through with the phone.
Good. Just hand it to me and... Oh, fine.
Gee, now, who can that be? Hello?
Hello, Archie.
Gee whiz, Jughead.
Would you expect a schmoo?
No, Jughead, and I didn't expect you either. It's Jughead, Dad.
Oh, fine. Archie, call me when you're through.
I will, Dad. Hello, Jug.
Gee whiz, Archie, what's the matter? You sound unhappy.
I am unhappy, Jughead. Pinky Schultz just gave me free tickets to the Bijou.
Gee, did?
Yeah, and I asked Veronica to go with me, but she's got a date.
Ask me and see what I say.
I suppose I might as well. Want to go to the movies, Jug?
Gee, sure.
Okay, Jug. Hurry up over and we'll go to the movies.
Okay, Archie, I'll be there before you can say MGM. Bye.
Well, I guess Jughead is better than nobody. She was now, who can that be? Hello?
Hello, Archie.
She was Veronica.
Archie, Reggie Mano just called and he has the mumps and can't keep our date.
He can't keep you... You mean...
So if you still want to take me to the movies, I'd love to go.
Oh, no.
What?
Well, I mean... Gee, that's swell.
Well, Archie, aren't you glad I can go to the movies with you?
Gee, I don't know.
What?
Well, I mean... Well, sure, I'm glad you can go, Veronica, but I'm not sure I can take you.
What?
Look, Veronica, it's a little complicated, but I think I can straighten it out. I'll call you back in a few minutes.
Oh, all right, Archie, but hurry.
I will, Veronica. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, boy, what a mix-up.
Archie, are you through with that phone yet?
Gee whiz, not yet, Dad. I gotta call Jughead.
Call Jughead? Archie, weren't you just talking to Jughead a minute ago?
Well, yes, Dad, and I invited him to go to the movies with me, but then Veronica called back, and she could go, so I gotta call Jughead back and uninvite him.
Oh, great. Archie,
What'd they say?
Who say?
The Hendersons. Are they coming over for bridge?
Oh, Mary, I haven't even called them yet.
Oh, for pity's sake, why not?
Because
I'm making the coffee and I have the cake and candy already, and you
Yes.
haven't even called them yet?
But, Mary,
I thought you said you wanted to play bridge.
Mary, look. I do want to play bridge, dear, and I do want to call the Hendersons, but I can't get Archie off the telephone.
Well, he's off now.
Yes, and I'm going to call right now.
But, Dad, I got to call Jughead.
Archie, you can call Jughead.
It'll only take half a minute, Dad.
Archie,
I'll be in an awful spot if I don't tell him right away, Dad.
Archie, I
Hey,
can't...
let the boy call Jughead.
Yes, but...
Evidently it's something important.
What? Mary, you just bawled me out for not calling the Hendersons. Now
Fred,
you tell...
he says it'll only take half a minute. Now, come on, you can help me set up the card table and the chairs.
I give up. All right, Archie, call Jughead. But call me the minute you're through.
Sure, Dad, I will. Gee, I hope Jughead doesn't mind staying home after I invited him and everything. Hello, operator. Get me Riverdale... Never mind, operator. There's someone at the door. I wonder who that can be. Hello. She was Jughead. Well, I was just trying to get you on the phone.
That's silly. I'm out.
Yes, Jughead, I see that now.
I told you I'd come over right away.
Well, yes,
I haven't seen a good movie in a week.
Jug,
it was nice of you to invite me, Archie.
Well, yes, Jug,
There's nothing I like better than a good movie.
Jughead!
Huh?
Will you quiet down for 1 second? There's something I want to ask you.
Can't you ask me on the way to the movie?
No, Jug, it's something I have to ask you now.
Oh, okay. Ask me.
Well, is Jug old pal?
Yes.
Old buddy?
Yes.
Old friend?
Listen, Archie, never mind the adverbs and get to the point.
I am, Jug, I am. Well, what I'm wondering is, would you... do you... Jug, do you really want to see this picture?
Sure, why not?
Well, no special reason, Jug, but I hear it's awful.
Huh?
Yeah, I hear it's a terrible picture, Jug. Worst picture they ever made. Full of love and kissing and that stuff.
I like love and kissing.
Oh, you do? Well, it's got a lot of killing and shooting, too, Jug.
I like killing and shooting.
Oh, you do? Well, it's got a lot of singing and music.
Oh, I like singing and music.
Oh, you do? Well, Jug, look. What kind of picture don't you like?
I like any kind.
Oh, great. Well, Jughead, I'm sure you won't like this kind.
I won't?
No, sir. Jug, you remember that picture where the Indians were scalping the cowboys and you pulled your hat down over your ears?
Yeah.
Well, this picture is full of that kind of stuff.
Gee, it is?
Sure. And do you remember the picture where the fire engine came driving right at the audience and you ducked under your seat?
Yeah.
This picture is full of fire engines.
Gee, it is?
Why, sure. And do you remember the picture where the tiger jumped at the hunter and you ran right out of the theater?
Yeah?
Why, there's hundreds of tigers in this picture.
Oh. Yeah. Archie.
Yes, Jug?
Archie, on second thought, maybe I'll just stay home tonight and read a book.
You mean you don't want to go to the movies?
No. Not right now, Archie. I think I'll just go home. In fact, I think I'll go home before it gets any darker.
Oh, gee, that's swell. Oh, I mean, that's too bad, Jug. I'm sorry you changed your mind.
Yeah. Bye, Archie.
Bye. Gee, it was a shame to scare poor Jughead like that. But it's better than making him feel bad by telling him that I didn't want to take him. Now all I have to do is call Veronica, and then everything will be all set. I hope.
Yes, I hope everything turns out all right, too, Archie. We'll see how you make out in just a minute. First, I'd like to get a word in about meal planning. You know, we men probably never really appreciate the problem you homemakers face in preparing interesting meals day in and day out. I'm sure that lots of times it's pretty difficult to think of something new and different to serve that will appeal to the whole family. So here's a suggestion that may be helpful to you. If you haven't served frankfurters lately, treat your family to an appetizing dinner of Swift's Premium Franks, hot potato salad, and cloverleaf rolls. Now there's an easy-to-fix meal that's bound to be a hit with the whole family. In just a few minutes cooking time, these fine Swift's Premium Franks are ready to eat, ready to be enjoyed by all. Now, to get the most out of the meal, it's important that the Franks be Swift's Premium Franks. For you see, Swift's Premium Franks are the ones made of all dinner quality meat, tender beef and juicy pork blended together in each delightful Frank. And to make sure that this all dinner quality meat reaches you extra fresh, we make Swift's Premium Franks fresh daily in Swift kitchens located close to where you buy them. Then every pound of these plump, juicy Franks is wrapped in a handy cellophane package that seals in all the natural goodness of each tender Swift's Premium Frank, protects their fine flavor by keeping them fresher longer. So ask for them today. Swift's Premium Franks, the Franks of all dinner quality meat. And now, back to the Andrews. Archie has those free passes to the movies, and now that he's frightened Jughead out of wanting to go with him, all he has to do is tell Veronica that everything is okay.
Riverdale 318, please, and hurry. It's a good thing I remembered that Jughead didn't like tigers and fire engines and Indians.
Hello?
Hello, Veronica. This is Archie. I got everything all straightened out about the movie.
Oh, that's wonderful, Archie. I knew you would. But, Archie, we'd better hurry. The last show starts pretty soon, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, Veronica, but I'll be over at your house in about 10 minutes.
Well, Archie, I have a better idea.
Huh?
To save time, suppose I take my car and drive by to pick you up.
Oh, gee, that is a good idea, Veronica.
All right, Archie, I'll be right over.
Okay, Veronica. Bye now.
Bye now.
Well, I finally got that all straightened out. Well, I guess Dad can make his call now. Oh, Dad!
Yes, Archie?
All through with the phone now.
Well, I don't believe it.
Well, yes, Dad, I really am. I got Jughead to change his mind, and Veronica's going with me after all, so everything's all set.
Well, that's fine. Now, just hand me that phone, and I'll... Oh, no.
Now what? Hello?
Hello, Archie. This is Betty.
Oh, hello, Betty.
I just met Jughead, Archie, and he said you had some tickets to a movie that you're not using.
Huh?
And Mother and I would just love to use them, Archie, if you don't want them.
Well, Betty,
you
look,
haven't given the tickets away, have you?
Well, no,
Archie,
Betty, but...
I know I shouldn't ask, but I thought that you'd understand.
Well, Betty, gee, I'm sorry, but I can't give you the tickets.
You can't? Why not?
Well, it's a little difficult to explain, Betty.
Oh, you'd rather give them to someone else.
Well, Betty, you don't
Well,
understand.
that's the way you feel, Mr. Andrews. I'm sorry I asked. Goodbye.
But, Betty, wait. Hello? 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 Oh, gee whiz. Now Betty's mad at me. Well, that's just too bad. They're my tickets, and I guess I can take Veronica to the movies if I want to without explaining to Betty. Oh, Dad!
Yes, Archie?
I'm through with the phone now.
Well, it's about time.
I'll call the Hendersons this time. Oh, no. Archie, answer the phone.
She was now what? Hello?
Archie, this is Veronica again.
Oh, hiya, Veronica. What's the matter?
Nothing, Archie, but my father says the picture playing at the Bijou is the first frontier.
Yeah, that's the picture.
Oh, Archie, I wish you told me. I saw that picture last week.
Yeah, I saw it. She was, you did?
Uh-huh. And there's no point to my seeing it again.
She was, I guess not.
I'm terribly sorry, Archie.
Oh, that's okay, Veronica.
Perhaps you'll get tickets again sometime.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, bye now.
Bye. How do you like that? After I get rid of Jughead and get Betty mad at me so I can take Veronica, it turns out Veronica has seen the picture.
Archie, that's a terrible shame.
Yeah.
But I want to call the Hendersons.
Gee, I might just as well call Betty and tell her that she can have the ticket.
Archie, after I make my call, we are trying to invite the Hendersons
But,
to
Dad,
bridge,
if I don't
remember?
tell Betty now, it'll be too late to use them.
Archie,
and
I
it'd be a
can't-
shame to waste them.
Archie,
and
I
Betty would
can't
be mad at me for no reason.
Me. Archie, look, go ahead and call Betty. But this is definitely and absolutely the last telephone call you are making this evening. Understand?
Sure, Dad. Sure. It'll just take a minute.
And call me when you're through.
Yes, Dad. Operator, Riverdale 614, please, and hurry. Boy, the next time somebody gives me free tickets to the movies, they'll have to pay me to take them. I'm not going... Oh, Betty, this is Archie.
Oh, what is it?
Betty, I called to say you can have the tickets to the movies.
Oh, golly, I can?
Uh-huh. It's too long to explain what the trouble was, Betty, but they're all yours now if you want.
Oh, golly, Archie, sure I do. I'll be right over for them. Gee, thanks a million, Archie.
Oh, it's all right, Betty. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, at least that's settled. Betty's happy, and Jug can't say I went without him, and Dad can make his call, and I'll just go read a book. Oh, Dad! Can that be Betty already? Hello. Jughead, what are you doing here?
Well, I'll tell you. When I got home, I found out my Uncle Herman saw the picture at the Bijou this afternoon, and he says it's a swell picture. So I decided to come back and go with you after all.
Oh, no.
Sure. He says there's no Indians or fire engines or tigers anywhere in the picture.
Well, Jughead,
He says there's a lot of shooting, but I like shooting.
Jughead,
Especially the part where the good guys corner the bad guys.
Well,
They
Jughead,
start going...
Jughead,
Oh, he got me! Jughead!
Huh? Jughead, that gunfight is very interesting. But there's something I have to explain to you. Yes? Look, I do have tickets to the movies, and I did invite you, but after you left, Betty called and... Oh, gee whiz, now what? Hello?
Hello, Archie. This is Veronica again.
Veronica?
Uh-huh. And Archie, guess what?
I'm afraid to.
When I said I saw The First Frontier last week, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I saw another picture called The Last Frontier.
The last?
So we can go to the movies after all.
Go to the
And I'll be right over, Archie. Bye.
But, Veronica, wait, I just... Hello? Oh, boy. Oh, boy, Jughead, have I got trouble? What's the trouble? Well, I might as well be frank about it. I told Betty that she could have the tickets to the movies.
Our tickets?
Jug, they're not our tickets.
Whose tickets are they?
Jug, look, I'll start at the beginning so you'll understand the whole problem. Now, Pinky Schultz gave me free passes because he had a fight with Agatha and couldn't go. And I asked Veronica, but she couldn't go, so you asked me to ask you and I did and you could go. But then Veronica called back and said she could go after all. But then you came over, but you decided not to go, and then Betty called and she wanted to go, but I said she couldn't go because Veronica wanted to go. But then Veronica called and said that she didn't want to go, so I told Betty she could go, but now you want to go. See?
Would you repeat that, please?
Well, No, fine. Jughead, look, She was... Well, maybe that's Betty and she's changed her mind. Hello?
Hello, Archie. This is Pinky Schultz.
Pinky?
Yeah. Boy, I'm glad you're still home. I was afraid you might have already gone to the movies with those free passes I gave you.
No, I didn't, Pinky. I decided not to go.
Oh, good. Because Agatha and I just made up. She wants to go to the movies and I haven't got a cent. So I want the tickets back.
Back? Oh, but Pinky, I can't give them back.
Can't? What do you mean you can't?
Well, I promised them to Betty Cooper.
Oh, you did you?
Yeah.
Well, listen, Archie, when I gave you those passes, I distinctly told you if you couldn't use them yourself, to give them back to me.
Well, yes, you did, Pinky, and I was going to use them, but
I'm not having another fight with Agatha because you want to give my passes to some old Betty.
But, Pinky, I can't give them...
I'm coming over for them right now, and you better have them, or else.
But, Pinky, wait, I could... Oh, boy. Jughead, I don't know how I ever got into this, but come on.
Where are you going?
To find my father, Jug. I gotta ask him for some money. It looks like I'm going to have to buy somebody some movie tickets.
Archie, for the love of Pete, aren't you through with that phone yet? I've got to make that call. Not... Well, that's funny. He isn't even here. Now, how do you like that? I wait for half an hour while he uses the phone, ask him to call me when he's through, and what happens? He just disappears, doesn't even say a word to anyone. Well, doesn't matter now. Might as well go ahead and make my call. Hello, operator. Would you get me... Oh, great. Never mind, operator. I have to answer the door.
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, Betty.
Well, here I am for the tickets.
What tickets?
The movie tickets Archie promised me.
Oh, great. Well, Betty, I'm making a phone call right now. Would you wait for just a minute? Then we'll try to find Archie.
Oh, all right, Mr. Andrews.
Operator, get me Riverdale... Oh, great.
Do you want me to answer it, Mr. Andrews?
No, Betty, it's my door. I might as well see who it is. Never mind, operator. Something tells me I never am going to make this phone call.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews.
Veronica.
Is Archie ready, Mr. Andrews?
Oh, Veronica, I don't know where Archie is at the moment, but if you'll wait just a minute, dear, while I make a phone call, I'll try to find him for you.
Oh, all right, Mr. Andrews. Well, Betty, what are you doing here? Oh, hello, Veronica. I'm waiting for Archie.
Operator, I have to answer the door again. I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, Mr. Andrews, is Archie in?
Oh, hello. You're Stinky Schultz, aren't you?
Pinky, not Stinky.
Yes, you said you want to see Archie?
Yeah, he's got some free movie passes of mine.
Free movie passes?
Pinky.
Oh, hi, Veronica.
Pinky, did you say those movie tickets were yours?
Betty,
yeah, free passes to the Bijou.
Pinky, would you...
Golly, Archie promised me tickets to the movie.
Betty, please.
No, but he's taking me.
Veronica,
With my ticket?
Pinky,
There you are, Dad. Well, she was... When did everyone get here?
Archie,
Pinky.
Jughead, would you...
Are the Hendersons coming over?
Where's
Mary,
my ticket,
No,
Archie?
don't get
Archie, I want to...
One of the movies.
Veronica, don't get excited.
Archie, for the love...
What is all
Mary,
this?
how you decided, Archie, quit saying it. Look, Mary... Veronica, Betty, Casey, please. There. That's better. Now listen to me, all of you. This nonsense has gone far enough. Too far, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, dear.
Yes, Dad.
Half an hour ago, Archie came screaming in here that he was going to the movies and had some free tickets. And ever since, this house has been turned into absolute bedlam. Phones ringing, doorbells ringing, Archie calling people, people calling Archie, people coming over here. I have never seen such confusion.
Ever been to my house at supper time?
Jughead, be quiet.
Okay.
Now, all I've been trying to do is call the Hendersons and invite them over for a quiet evening of bridge. Now, is that asking too much? Wanting to play some bridge?
No, Mr. Andrews.
No, dear.
No, Dad. I pass.
Jughead.
Okay.
Now, all I want to know is, what is this all about?
Well, Dad, maybe I can explain.
I wish you would.
Well, right after supper tonight, I met Pinky, and he gave me this free pass to the movies. And now things have gotten a little mixed up, and, well, everyone wants to go.
But why can't everyone go?
Because the pass is only good for two. It says right here, admit 2 persons to the Bijou Theatre for any matinee performance during the... Oh, boy.
Matinee? Archie, did you say matinee?
Archie, matinee means afternoon only.
Gee whiz, the pass is no good.
Oh, no. Archie, you need I give up.
Tender deep to Seaport, known from the West Coast to New York, with premium friends,
Friends, you really know what you're getting when you ask for Swift's Premium Franks. Made fresh daily in Swift kitchens from coast to coast, so you know they're fresh. Made by Swift, so you know they're top quality. Ask for them today. Swift's Premium Franks in the new handy 1-pound cellophane package. And while you're at your dealers, be sure to ask for Swift's Brookfield sausage, the sausage with the just right seasoning. And don't forget that your dealer has a tempting variety of Swift's premium table-ready meats. Delicious bologna is being featured this week, and you'll find it to be a surefire hit in lunchbox sandwiches, after-school snacks, and late-evening spreads. And remember, Swift's premium bologna is economical because it's all meat. No bones, no waste. Always keep some on hand for quick, easy-to-fix meals. For a meal in a flash that saves plenty of cash, get Swift's premium table-ready meat. And now, back to the Andrews. It's a few minutes later, and peace and quiet have finally been restored to the Andrews household.
Fred, I think that was a very nice thing you did, giving Archie enough money to take all the children to the movies.
Mary, there was no other way out of it. Now, look, dear, let's just forget the whole thing and call the Hendersons and get going on that game of bridge, huh? I really need to relax now.
All right, dear, I'll call them. Riverdale 753, please. With the children out of the house, Fred, we should have a very nice evening with the Hendersons. And
yes.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Henderson? Oh, this is Mary Andrews. I'm fine, thanks. How are you? Well, Mrs. Henderson, we were wondering if you and your husband would care to come over here tonight to play some bridge. I thought that... what? Oh, I see. Oh, yes. Well, all right. Goodbye.
Mary, what is it? Don't they want to play bridge?
Well, yes, dear, but they're just leaving. They have free tickets to the movie.
Oh, no.
You've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jampel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie was played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone. Mom and Dad Andrews are played by Alice Uhrman and Arthur Cole. Veronica and Betty by Gloria Mann and Rosemary Rice. Pinky Schultz was played by Arnold Stang. This program is produced and directed by Kenneth McGregor. Listen next Saturday when Swift and Company, makers of Swift's Premium Franks, brings you more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. This is Bob Sherry wishing you all a very pleasant weekend. So long. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
There you go, September 25th, 1948. Reading is fundamental. The Adventures of Archie Andrews here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll head to Pine Ridge in a moment. Now let's head to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, going back 88 years for another episode of Lum and Abner. This episode, September 25th, 1935.
To take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. What's your earliest recollection? Chances are you can't think of anything offhand. But one man I put this question to replied, being always hungry. Well, I thought that was a pretty good answer. It's a problem that almost every child has to face, and a problem that many mothers are constantly trying to overcome. Now, this isn't really a problem at all. Thousands of mothers have solved it simply and easily by giving their youngsters plenty of Horlicks tablets to take to school. These tablets are the self-same ones that office and factory workers use to keep their hunger satisfied and to keep going at top speed. The same ones that athletes and sportsmen carry around to replace used-up energy. Give your youngsters Horlicks tablets. They'll love them, both the natural and the chocolate flavors. And Horlicks will do them a world of good. And remember, they don't spoil appetites. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's an important announcement regarding change in schedule of the Lum and Abner program. So many of you have requested it that new coast stations have been added, and the time of the broadcast changed. Beginning next Monday, October 21st, your old friends Lum and Abner will come to you in person at 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be sure and check your local newspaper for the new schedule and the additional stations. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. The only chance Lum has to clear himself of the charges he faces for violation of the Blue Sky Law in connection with the sale of fraudulent stock in the silver mine he assisted Squire Skimp in promoting is to produce the Squire in time for the trial. He learned day before yesterday that Squire is now in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and had planned to make a trip there to bring him back to Pine Ridge. However, his bondsman refused to let him leave town. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Grandpappy Spears over at Lum's house discussing the affair. Listen.
Well, Lum, where in the world did you ever get the idea Squire's in Tulsa anyway? Why, he wrote a letter to Miss Kemp the other day, and when he come in down there at the post office, Dick Huddleston seen it and brung it over here and showed it to me. Had right up in the corner of the envelope to Mrs. Skimp from M.K. Skimp, care of General Deliveries, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, I'll be dogged. What all did he have to say in the letter? Oh, I never got to read it. I tried to get Dick to let me open it up and see what she said, but he said that'd be against the law to do that. Contaminating with the mails or something like that. Maybe Miss Skimp would tell you what he had to say. Well, I sort of hate to ask her that. Might be something personal. I found out where he's at. That's all I wanted to know anyway. And if you fellers had left me alone yesterday, I'd have been over there in Tulsa by this time. More than likely done had him catched and on his way back to Pine Ridge. Well, don't blame me about that, Lum. It was them other bondsmen that never wanted you to leave town. I knowed you'd come back. Why, of course I'd have come back. If I was going to try to skip my bond, I wouldn't have told everybody I was leaving. I'd just slipped off. And that's what I tried to tell him, but Uncle Henry Lunsford said he was on your bond for $500, and he'd just rather not take them chances. Yeah, I sort of figured he's the one that's causing the trouble. I wish now he hadn't even signed the bond. Well, if he hadn't, he'd still been laying over in jail. Well, if I can't get over there in Tulsa and find Squire Skimp and get him back over here before my trial comes up, I'll be in jail about 10 or 15 years anyway, according to what the judge said. Well, there comes Abner up out there. Yeah. No, sir, if I can't get Squire back in time for that trial, they're going to send me to the penitentiary just sure as I'm a-sitting here. And if they do, them bondsmen that kept me from going after him is responsible for it. Wait a minute. Come in. Yeah, come in, Abner.
Howdy.
Howdy, Abner. How was business today?
Oh, done pretty good today, Lum. Say, I seen Uncle Henry Lunsford a while ago, Lum. He's just worried to death. Feared you're going to run off, and he'll have to pay off his part of that bond that he signed to get you out of jail.
Yeah, I know. Well, he needn't to worry now, and I ain't going to leave town long as he feels that way about it, no way.
Well, now, you better. If it's me, I'd go anyway, regardless of what they said. If you don't get that Squire Skimp back before your trial comes up, you're a gone goose.
What's the matter with you going, Abner?
Huh? Going where?
I'm going over to Tulsa and catching Squire and fetching him back here.
Well, I don't know.
Wait a minute. I grant you that ain't a bad idea, Grandpa. Sure, Abner's a constable. He's the one that's supposed to go out and catch the criminal. Why, sure he is. Why didn't we think of that before?
Well, now, wait a minute. I ain't said I'd go, Lum.
You've got to go. That's part of your duties as constable.
You mean for me to go over there?
Just go over there and find Squire and arrest him and bring him back here.
What if he won't come,
Why, slip a pair of handcuffs on him, march him down to the train. He'll have to come along with you.
Yeah, but what if he won't let me put the handcuffs on him?
Just get him for resisting officer.
Hey, what if he tries to start a fight?
You ain't scared of Squire, are you?
Why, of course not. I don't think I am. I'm just thinking of all the what-ifs I can.
Thinking of what?
Thinking of all the what-ifs I can. What if he does this, and what if he don't?
Oh, well, he ain't going to do nothing. I'll get out a warrant for his arrest, and you can get on that train tonight and head for Tulsa.
I dog it, I'll do it, Lum. He can't bluff me out. I'll learn him to resist the officer.
Well, he ain't resisting you. He'll more than likely come right on back with you peaceful as a lamb.
Well, that's better. I guess he's seen that I meant business. I'll just call Elizabeth up right this minute and tell her to get my duds packed.
Well, good for you. I'll get that warrant drawn up right now. Wait a minute, though. Might be best, Grandpap, if you was to swear out the warrant.
Me?
Yeah, it wouldn't look right, me being a justice of peace, drawing it up and swearing it out both.
I dog it, I'll show that Squire Skimp who's the law around here. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. This is Abner. Why, yes, honey, I wanted to get you to pack my valise. I'm going to Tulsa, Oklahoma to bring Squire Skimp back here. Huh?
Just sign your name right there.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to, though. Got to get him back here in time for Lum's trial.
You just go ahead and fill it out now.
Well, he can't go, Elizabeth. The feller that signed his bond won't let him leave town. Well, I won't be gone but just 2 or 3 days.
Today's Wednesday.
Uh-huh. Well, honey, uh-huh. Well, yeah, but if I... Uh-huh. Well, all right, honey. Well, I said all right. Yes, Mom. All right. All right. Yes, honey, all right. Goodbye. Well, that settled that, I reckon.
What's the matter?
Why, Elizabeth says I can't go.
Well, what's she got to do with it? She ain't a constable.
No, but when she said I can't go, well, there ain't no use to argue with her. And she just set her foot right down, said I weren't going to Tulsa.
There's a fine constable. Has to call up his wife and ask her whenever he wants to go out and catch a criminal. Yeah, it's a fine howdy-do, I must say.
Now, you just keep your mouth out of this, Grandpa.
Next time you run for office, I'll just tell everybody about this, too.
Yeah, about one more crack out of you, and you won't tell nobody nothing. I'll take you down there and throw you in jail and throw the key away.
You'd have to ask Elizabeth first, though.
Now, mind out what you say now, Grandpa. Don't go too far with your
talk. Cut out the arguing. Cut it out, oh, swan. Here I am trying to figure out some way to keep myself out of the penitentiary, and all you two does is argue.
Well, now, he can't sit there and say such that about me.
Wait a minute. Be quiet. Somebody there at the door. Come in. Well, howdy, Dick.
Yeah, howdy, Dick.
Yeah, hello there, Richard.
Yeah, what's all the loud talk about in here?
Oh, Grandpap and Abner arguing with one another, trying to start a ruckus. Yeah, Lum wanted Abner to go over to Tulsa and bring Squire Skimp back over here for the trial. And Abner had to call up his woman to find out if he could go, and she wouldn't let him.
Now, Dad, blame you, Grandpappy
Just
Spare.
quiet yourself down, Abner.
Well, I don't think it'll be necessary for anybody to go from here, Lum. I was just thinking a while ago, why don't you just call up the chief of police over there and get him to catch Squire?
The trouble is, though, the chief of police over there don't even know Squire.
Well, you can give him a description of him. He could come a whole lot nearer find him than any one of you fellas could. You wouldn't know where to look after you got over there.
No, I ain't never been there.
Yeah, see there, Grandpap, you ain't so smart after all.
And it'd save you railroad fare and expenses over there.
Yeah, if he'll do it.
Well, he'll do it if you'll get out a warrant for Squire's arrest.
Well, I just a minute ago started to make one out. Here, Grannies, I believe that's a good idea, Dick.
Yeah, I'd call him up and get him started on it, Lum, before Squire finds out you're looking for him and pulls out of there.
You mean call him up on the telephone?
Sure, long distance. You can explain it to him better on the phone.
Well, I don't even know his name or telephone ring or nothing.
Just call up the Central girl in there at the county seat and tell her to get you the chief of police of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here, wait a minute, I'll put in a call for him myself.
Yeah, I wish you would, Dick. I don't know what I'd do if I never had you to lean again in time of trouble this way.
I bound you, Elizabeth, had this all figured out. She knowed there weren't no use for me to go. I never sassed her back none, did I?
No, I can tell you that. All
Hello?
I said was all right.
This is Dick Huddleston out at Pine Ridge.
Yes, honey, no.
I want to put in a call for the chief of police at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'll pay it here.
Tell her to put it on my phone.
That's all right, Lum. You can find out what they've been paying for.
Doggy, that's the wonderfulest thing I ever seen. Just think. Feller can sit right here and talk to somebody clean over in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, yes, a handy thing at all.
I'm going to have to back down on what I used to say about it. I believe the telephone is here to stay.
Yeah.
Hello?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Just a minute. Here.
Yeah, much right. Hello? Is this the chief of police?
That's who he's calling.
This is Lum Edwards, Justice of the Peace at Pine Ridge.
I know where you get that in.
Lum Edwards. No, Lum. No, L like in Lum. U-M. Yeah.
You like in Lum, too.
Why, I'm sending you a warrant for a feller over there, and I just thought I'd call you up so you could be on the lookout for him. Well, he looks a whole lot like Clay Abernathy, except he's a heap fatter, of course.
Well, he doesn't know Clay Abernathy, Lum.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know Luther Phillips?
No, of course he doesn't.
Huh?
No, he don't know nobody, hardly.
No, the name of the feller that we want ain't Clay Abernathy. It's Squire Skimp I want you to find. No, I'm Lum Edwards. I know where I'm at. Well, see, my name is Clay Lum Edwards, and I'm trying to locate Squire Phillips, Skimp. I wish he'd learn how to talk over a telephone. Hello? Granny, I believe he's hung up on me.
Well, now that Squire is located, Lum seems to be having a hard time bringing him back to Pine Ridge. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I especially want everyone to hear what Mrs. Louis C. Keedry of New Orleans, Louisiana, writes to tell us. She says,
I always keep a large jar of Horlick's malted milk tablets in my refrigerator, and the children are privileged to enjoy a reasonable amount of them at any time. The lunch tablets are looked upon as candy by the children and as a healthful food by me, so that I'm always glad for them to have some. Lately, I have introduced a small flask of tablets to my husband, and he now keeps them in his desk at the office to tide over a delayed or forgotten luncheon.
Mrs. Keedry is certainly on the right track, all right. Every child enjoys Horlick's tablets. And these tablets certainly do wonders for the youngsters. And don't forget, they're equally fine for golfers, motorists, athletes, busy housewives and shoppers, not to mention office and factory workers. They keep you on the go, satisfy hunger without spoiling appetite. They can be bought in both natural and chocolate flavors, you know, whichever you prefer. And don't forget that new coast stations have been added and the time of this program changed. Beginning next Monday, October 21st, your old friends Lum and Abner will come to you in person at 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be sure and check your local newspaper for the new schedule and the additional stations. This is Carlton Brickert speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks. We'll now bid you all goodbye until tomorrow at this same time.
but it's the police chief who's confused. From 88 years ago, September 25th, 1935, Lum and Abner. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A reminder, our webpage is classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. You can find out all the information about the program there. You can support us there if you wouldn't mind. And, of course, the best thing you can do is order something from MyPillow. Mike Lindell and the crew there can take care of you. MyPillow.com, promo code Wyatt, or call 1-800-928-4715. 1-800-928-4715. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox will be back on Tuesday here on your favorite podcast app.